It's just, you heard that. It squeals the tires. Badge. Whenever there is a big change to a vehicle, there's always going to be some people who aren't happy. And when the Mach-E came out, I was one of those people. I was like, an electric crossover with the Mustang logo on it? Wait a second. I think I personally would have been more okay with easing in with a pure electric Mustang sports car, but not starting off as a crossover. And then I spent some time driving the regular Mustang Mach-E, and I still wasn't in love with it. It didn't feel like a Mustang to me. And my personal history of the Mustang starts with the Boss 302. That was the first car that I saved up and bought myself. A Mustang with a naturally aspirated V8, manual transmission, and designed to lap an iconic racetrack like Laguna Seca faster than its German rivals. And now I have a Shelby GT350R, and I just love the Mustang brand, the vehicles, GT500, Mach 1, regular Mustang GTs. So the Mach-E had me with mixed feelings, a little bit confused. But now I've been driving this Mach-E GT Performance for the past week, and today we're going to do a review on it and talk about how my feelings may or may not have changed regarding the Mach-E and what this GT Performance has been like from two perspectives. One side as an enthusiast who loves kind of conventional Mustangs with big V8s in them, manual transmissions, the sound and feeling, but also from the perspective of maybe you're looking for a sporty electric crossover. You're looking into the EV world and you're not traditionally in love with the Mustang sports cars, right? Today's video has also been sponsored by Recurrent. They are a company that provides electric vehicle battery health reports. There's three different kinds of reports. You have owner reports, you have a one-time snapshot if you're looking to buy an EV, and also for dealerships for the health of all the EVs they have in inventory. Why are these reports important? Well, the battery is a pretty important and expensive part of your electric vehicle. It can tell you things with the reports on the state of health of your battery. What is the real world range you will expect? What is the effect of temperature and seasons? In the winter, your range will be less. And also, what can you expect your range to be in the future? Let's call it 3 years from now. If you have an EV or you're thinking about buying an EV, definitely check out Recurrent in the link below. It's definitely some really important information. So the powertrain for the Mach-E GT Performance. This is the top tier, most powerful iteration of the Mach-E. 480 horsepower and 634 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers are definitely impressive. It is all-wheel drive as standard, dual motor with the larger battery pack, which was 88 kilowatt hour, but I believe is now updated to 91 kilowatt hours. 0 to 60 per Ford is rated at 3.5 seconds. So that is definitely quick. Direct drive. Range is important for EVs. The Mach-E GT is 270 miles. Going to the Performance will drop at 10 miles. 260 miles rated range for the Mach-E GT Performance. It definitely is quite quick, which we will experience shortly. In terms of exterior styling, the Mach-E is part of the Mustang family now, so very clearly Mustang inspired. For the GT and GT Performance, we have the light up pony badge up front and this blacked out grille or front grille area. We have the tri-bar headlights and taillights, and overall a much more aggressive front fascia, blacked out splitter here. This rapid red metallic paint is also quite nice. On the driver's side front, we have the charging port to plug it in to charge. We have exclusive, we have exclusive 20-inch wheels for the GT Performance with red Brembo brake calipers peeking out behind those. We have a Mach-E 4X badge on the side, which denotes this is an all-wheel drive version. Blacked out mirrors, black roofline there. And then the door handles are really cool too. You press this little touch button and then it pops out the door here. On the front, you have this little handle to open it up. On the back, you press that same little touch button and it pops the door out and you just open it up. Gives it a really nicely sculpted aerodynamic look to the side. Around back, we have a little more aggressive of a rear diffuser area. Again, those tri-bar taillights. Overall, it's not a bad looking vehicle. It's pretty cool, definitely Mustang inspired, and as the GT Performance version, it is by far the most aggressive and cool looking of the Mustang Mach-E's. With that, let's hop inside. We're going to talk about the interior, what is it like to drive, and lastly, the value. All right, we are inside the Mach-E GT. The first thing we're going to do is change the drive mode from Whisper to Unbridled, and floor it. See, that's fun. That is definitely fun. So 0 to 60 is rated at 3.5 seconds because you get that instant over 600 pound-feet of torque just immediately. That's what EVs can offer. And with all-wheel drive, it absolutely puts the power down, but it will still squeal the tires. The GT Performance comes on 245s. They're summer tires, but 245s aren't that wide. I mean, my Shelby has 325s out back, but again, this is a crossover. Let's talk about the interior first. And unequivocally, without a single doubt, the Mach-E has the nicest interior ever found on a factory Mustang. Just in terms of technology, material, comfort, space, by far. Look at this really cool textured cloth across the entire dash. 10-speaker B&O sound system. Technology is plentiful. We have a very narrow, short digital cluster screen here, which shows really basic info. I'm in unbridled mode now, so it's got these really cool kind of orange accent angled lines, but it shows things like your range, your charge, your speed, and then we have the very large infotainment screen. It's a vertically oriented touchscreen, 15.5 inches across, running the latest version of Sync, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, a lot of controls. You can even have a sketchpad mode. We can draw things on there too. So this definitely dominates the interior, but unlike some other EVs, you still have a center cluster screen here. The seats are different from the regular Mach-E 2. We have additional bolstering from Ford Performance for the sportier, more powerful model here, especially the shoulder-like pieces right there. That's a big difference. They're definitely comfortable, and just overall materials like leather and the suede and everything, the stitching is so much nicer than what you would find in even a brand new Shelby GT500. Full panoramic glass roof is also option on this vehicle here. So again, in terms of interior space, material quality, the Mach-E GT is absolutely nice. In terms of what is it like to drive, well, the Mach-E GT Performance brings magnetic ride dampers, which are really awesome. You have the upgraded Brembo brakes, obviously the all-wheel drive, lower center of gravity with the big battery pack. It is a heavier vehicle, around 5,000 pounds, but it's just that instant torque, just always on demand. We're in unbridled mode right now, which increases the propulsion sound, which you can actually turn off. So if you turn it off, and then it doesn't have the same generated sound through the speakers. There's also the whisper mode, engage. Those are different ones to calm it down a bit. Even with magnetic ride dampers, this does ride pretty firm, especially when you're on unbridled mode. And then there's this unbridled extend, which is like for track use only. When you click on the info button, it brings up this big disclaimer. A lot of technology in here beyond just the driving associated ones as a GT Performance iteration. We have Blue Cruise available, so with the sensor here watching you, which is Ford's hands-free semi-autonomous driver assistance feature suite. I wonder if this road is supported here. Blue Cruise on, watch the road, be prepared to resume. Okay, yep, so this is full hands-free. I watch the road. It's up to 100,000 miles, I believe, currently mapped, supported, which is currently hands-free. You have to be paying attention. And then on a non-supported road, you just take over, make sure your hands are on the wheel, has really good lane keeping, things like that. The acceleration, the power does seem to fall off a little bit right around 80 miles an hour, like to 100. I wanted to come in saying like, no, it's still not a Mustang. It still doesn't deserve the Mustang badge. But what the GT Performance is able to accomplish is it does make you giggle when you accelerate. It does deliver a automotive experience that's a little bit beyond just the regular electric crossover to deserve kind of the Mustang and the GT badge. Whew. Like, that's fun. It's definitely fun to do. Does it have the noise, the emotion, the passion of a Mustang GT with a V8, a Coyote V8, or a Mach-1, or a Shelby? Definitely not the Shelby. No, it definitely does not. But what how it was explained to me is the Mach-E is intended to bring the ethos of the Mustang, the brand, kind of the whole lifestyle ideology behind having a Mustang, a pony car, to the general audience. Somebody who has a family, somebody who has kids. They need more space, practicality. So does it distill that there? A little bit. I can see it a little bit, especially it's closest with this GT Performance. It's quick. Brings some noises. I'm still not. I guess maybe I'm just not ready to have my sports cars replaced with electric vehicles yet. It just does not have the emotion. Similar to what I said for the regular Mach-E, this is a fantastic electric crossover, I think. It's got pretty good range. I actually saw it showed on the dash 274 miles when I charged it fully. I know it's rated at 260, but it showed a little bit more than that. The acceleration is great. I think the interior is great. The technology is great. It does look pretty cool. So from that regard, it is a fantastic daily drivable Mustang Mach-E. Would I ever trade my Shelby, or would I tell you to trade your Mustang GT in for it? I don't think so. If you're a Mustang enthusiast and you want to get one, get the Mach-E GT Premium Performance, the GT Performance. That's what this one is called. So many names. Let's talk about the value. Starting price is competitive. This one as option is just under $70,000, which is comparable to a Tesla Model Y Performance, which I believe this is almost directly targeting. Similar 0 to 60 time, both 3.5 seconds. The Model Y does have a little bit better rated range, around 300 miles, whereas this is at 260, but pricing is very similar. The Performance Pack is a $5,000 add-on from the regular Mustang GT. And for that, you get the magnetic ride, the upgraded brakes, you get a bit more torque, so it is faster from that regard. Which one would I buy? I'd get the Performance. I mean, if you're going for it, you might as well go for the Performance. It'll definitely be interesting to see how they continue to evolve and push it, because they did increase the battery pack capacity for the Mach-E heading into the 2022 year. So over-the-air software updates, continuing to update and update. We'll see where they can continue to push this. I do want to try out one of these on the track in the dry, because even in the rain, it was pretty good. And on the roads and living with it, I've been pretty impressed with it. I don't mind living with a Mach-E GT Performance on the road. That being said, it's not going to match the emotion and sound and feeling of my Shelby. So I drove that the first day I got this dropped off. I took the Shelby out, established the baseline, and then took this out the next day. I was like, okay. So to answer that question I posed initially, if you are a true enthusiast of the Mustang through the generations, Coyote 5-liter, the sound, the feeling, this will not replace that. The GT Performance is able to accomplish being a step above the regular Mach-E that like the GT would compared to the EcoBoost. That makes sense if you think about the delta between those two. So from that regard, yes, it's fine that it has a GT badge on it. It's fine that this, to me, is the most Mustang-like of the Mach-E. Now, if you're looking for a sporty crossover, you don't really care about the Mustang history, the sound of a V8. This is quite cool all around. I mean, the performance, the interior, the cool tech features, the quirks, like opening the door handles and a little button. It does confuse some people. I had a coworker try to get in, and she was like, Eddie, how do I get into the car? It definitely looks like a Mustang in crossover form, like a Mustang that had way too many Big Macs and needs to lose a couple pounds. I mean, this is an inflated Mustang styling on a crossover. But if you're looking for a sporty EV, this deserves consideration. In the segment, I would pick this definitely over the Tesla, because the Tesla has the build quality and interior comfort of nothing. Like, I don't like them at all on the inside. This is significantly nicer. I really do personally like the Korean electric ones, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6. I'm quite impressed with those, but the performance of those can't match this. The EV6 GT will be really interesting to see how it compares to that, but those also have really, really unique styling, really nice interiors too, and a lot of great technology. Chevy is coming out soon with the Blazer EV SS, so this segment is becoming more and more occupied, more and more crowded. Everybody's moving into this space, so it's going to become quite competitive. But if I have to buy a Mach-E, and if there has to be an electric Mustang crossover, the GT Performance is pretty cool. With that, I hope you enjoyed this review of the GT Performance. Again, I wanted to come in and say, nah, this still doesn't deserve the Mustang GT badge, definitely not, but no, it's okay. It's far enough beyond the regular Mach-E, and it delivers some fun and some excitement, and it definitely, I've taken it around a racetrack, and I mean, it didn't run out of batteries around the track, so obviously it can handle that. Make sure you also check out my vlog. I did a living with vlog, kind of more behind the scenes, informal, seeing what it was like to have a Mustang Mach-E GT for the week, testing out the cargo, went to Costco, put a lot of stuff in the back, folded the seats down, charging, things like that, the day-to-day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.